Hi, it's Mickey Dolenz here. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
It is now May 29th, 2024. It's been officially a little over a year since my last published episode. There's been a lot that has happened. I have still recorded a lot. And I want to present to you, you've heard him on a number of occasions, Martin Schmidt. Yachtley Crew played at the Golden State Theater, and I was able to interview Martin Schmidt again. January, February, March 15th. This is from March 15th, 2024. This is also my sister Jenny's birthday. A lot has happened since last time I published an episode. Martin Schmidt is the sock monkey guy. He is building a miniature version of the Golden State Theater. He sends me updates, and I love him. It's amazing to see the work he's doing. This replica once sat inside of the actual human-sized Golden State Theater, and he took it out of there to add a whole bunch of different little nooks and crannies. I'm blown away by what he's doing. So you're going to hear a great interview with Martin Schmidt. There are 3 parts to this. My plan is to release all 3 of these simultaneously. And then Yachtley Crew goes on a big tour. 55 days we will be in a tour bus. So I would like to continue broadcasting there. Also, I'm going to download the Twitter app. I want to try to use the spaces, as they call them on there. I've already done one, a couple actually, with Maria Humphreys, which, by the way, thank you, Mickey Dolenz, for opening up this episode. We will hear a fun fact from Henry D. Horse, and we will also hear from Maria Humphreys later on in the program. So I hope you're having a great time during your road trip or sitting there by the hearth. So maybe you're crocheting something. I hope all is well. Thank you for listening to Inspirado Projecto.
I'm glad to be able to put some of it to use finally.
So we're here with Martin Schmidt again, the sock monkey master. If you get a chance, you've got to check out his sock monkeys. He does awesome custom-made sock monkeys. We're at the Golden State Theater again. Today is the 15th of March. Also my sister's birthday. So, Martin, what new developments?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show again.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Well, as long as we're talking about sock monkeys, I brought some more magnets for you.
No way! Thank you! Oh, my God. I got these right up on my refrigerator. I got all these little dudes up on my refrigerator. No way! I love the little pilot. A sock monkey for president. Oh, my gosh.
He gets a few votes every year.
Have you? I love it. Oh, that's great.
That's the Scream, of course.
Oh, yes, the Scream. I love the Scream. These are so cool.
And getting into really classical stuff, here's Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian monkey.
No way.
Now, I actually did that in Photoshop. I didn't make a monkey that looked like that.
Oh, my gosh. This is incredible. These are great. So have you thought about making T-shirts, like customized T-shirts?
Actually, I have some available on Zazzle.com.
Good. Oh, good. I was hoping something like that would happen, because you can make stickers, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah,
with those
stickers,
guys.
coffee mugs, things like that.
Oh my gosh! Does anyone request particular ones for you to make in the shop?
Oh, as a matter of fact, not often, but I did get one request. I'm not putting this one on Instagram. Lady in Spokane, Washington contacted me, and she sent me a photo of another sock monkey that she had seen somewhere, but she wasn't able to buy it. I guess it was already sold or something. And asked me if I could make one like it. It was a stripper sock monkey.
Oh my God.
So I did.
Stripper sock
my very first stripper sock
monkey. Like a little Velcro bra or something on the back, or how'd you do that?
No, we got tassels and pasties.
It's great. Oh my God.
Well, I had to figure out for the first time how to make sock monkey boobs. I had never done that
How did you do that? What did you do?
Well, I thought long and hard. I thought, well, can you stick a marble inside the sock while positioning it? Well, the trouble is the material isn't going to form around it. It's just going to kind of stretch and be a couple of little lumps there. But so what I finally ended up doing was making a little oval-shaped pattern and cutting it out of sock material and sewing them on, stuffing it. And,
oh my gosh!
Turned out pretty well.
That's great.
So, and then I made the tassels and the pasties and everything. And I got I got a pink boa. They make these skinny, human-sized pink boas. I forget what they call them. There's a special name for them. Anyway, and I got one off of Amazon. It was pink. And I discovered that if I cut it into 3 pieces, each piece was exactly the right length for a sock monkey. Sock monkeys are about 1/3 human scale.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible.
So, now I have 2 more feather boas left over for future sock monkeys.
That's crazy.
Maybe I'll make a Mae West sock monkey or something. Anyways, so I did that and shipped it off to her in Spokane, and she loved it. I asked her to tell me the story behind it. She said, well, okay. She said, when her mother was in her late teens, I guess it was, and her mother was rebelling against her parents, she actually was a stripper for a short time.
Oh, my gosh.
And now she's a nurse. So she's going to give it to her mother for a birthday present.
Oh, my gosh. That's great.
And I forgot to mention the mother is a big sock monkey collector.
Oh,
she has this big collection of all these different stuff. But of course, she doesn't have a stripper yet, but she will.
That's perfect. Oh, my gosh. That's incredible.
So, yeah, that's what I've been up to in the sock monkey
How often
world.
do you get requests?
It's pretty rare. Maybe once or twice a year. Not that often.
So do they? Now, I know you have the Facebook page. Is that how she found you?
Actually, she found me through my YouTube channel because on one of my videos, I mentioned the fact that I had made some sock monkeys for a local kids' toy store, which is called Zurley. Well, it was. It's no longer in business. The owner of the store had the toy business first of all. Then she imported toys from Europe and various other places. So it was good quality stuff. And it was years ago that my wife went in there and was looking for things for her grandchildren. And can...
Oh, yeah.
So you can imagine at the time, the store's logo was a sock monkey.
Incredible.
And so Jane started talking about sock monkeys with the owner, and she mentioned me, and no sooner were the words out of her mouth, he makes custom sock monkeys. The owner's eyes lit up, and she said, could he make some for me to sell in the store?
Oh, my gosh.
So this is quite a number of years ago. So we started a pretty good business relationship, and I must have made several dozen sock monkeys for over the years, and
Incredible.
they would sell like that.
Oh, my gosh.
And but finally the market changed, and she opened a second store next to the first one, and it was selling kids' dancewear. And that eventually became more profitable than the toys. So she pivoted and went straight into the dancewear full time and shut the toy store down.
I'm surprised she didn't combine the two of them in some way.
Well, they were both housed in the same storefront at one point. But I guess it was probably just too much work running 2 businesses instead of one. And I don't know the particulars. I haven't discussed it with her. But anyhow, she eventually... Well, and one of the problems was the pandemic because, you're going to love this, her store had to close, of course, along with everything else. And however many months they were closed, well, the landlord decided he wanted the full amount of the rent for all the time they were closed. Who does that?
There should have been a pause on that thing, you know?
Yeah. Or at
What
least
the heck?
a substantial discount and deferment or something.
Absolutely.
But nope, he wanted full rent. So she said, she was talking to me about it one time, and she said by the time they were able to reopen again, she said she was going to be in so much debt she'd probably never recover. So that's one of the reasons she closed down half of it. And she moved the store out of that location and into an even better location where she's paying less rent now. So that's good.
Good.
So it worked out well in the end. Anyway, but... the video that I had made way back when, of course, is still online and still mentions Zurley, and I haven't tried to edit it to remove that or anything. I just left it because you don't normally get that much response from people. But somebody saw that video and they looked up Zurley. Apparently, they're still in some directory somewhere, and called the phone number. And Heather said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're not doing the toys and sock monkeys anymore, but here's the email of the guy who makes them." And so that's how she got in touch with me.
It just seems like, you know, because the owner is still a sock monkey fan, right? That kind of
She still has a couple that I
appreciation
made
does
for
not
her.
go away. So I'm just thinking, like, even if it's a kid's, like, so it's kids' dancewear.
Yeah.
She could easily still sell sock monkeys there, right? Kids,
Probably.
Kids, you know,
I would
they
think
could
so.
have a sock monkey to
Well,
dance along with, right?
What I did actually when she was running both stores is I would make several sock monkeys for the toy store, and then one time I made like half a dozen ballerina monkeys.
There you go.
With little tutus and a pink bow on their head.
Yeah, and they could be wearing the
those,
dancewear that she makes, right?
Yeah. And she put those in the dancewear half of the store.
Phenomenal.
And I don't know how long it took to sell, but she eventually sold them all.
Oh,
so,
that's
yeah,
so
she
cool.
Could.
Yeah.
So I should maybe approach her about that. But.
Are there other stores like that around here that
Other dancewear stores?
Well, any sort of like, novelty shops,
that would
anything
sell
like
sock
that?
monkeys?
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of really interesting stores around this place.
There was one in Pacific Grove for a while. It was called the Rabbit Hole. It was located on Forest Hill and in the back of this unassuming shopping strip mall. And I took a sock monkey in there, took a couple of them in there, and they were there for months and months, and there was one nibble on one of them and then nothing. So eventually I just took them back again.
Something like that,
I
I
just
can
put
imagine.
them there on consignment.
Oh, that's good.
So they wouldn't have to pay anything out of pocket if they didn't sell. Anyhow, so I figured, well, that's not going to work. And then I went by there a few weeks ago. This is like a couple of years ago that we did this, a year ago, something like that. And I went by just a couple of weeks ago, and they're out of business. So either bad location, bad market selection, I don't know what. But with online sales, you'd think that almost any business could survive if they had enough of an online presence, even if nobody came to their physical location. But I've never run a business, so I don't know.
Do you have an Etsy account as well, or no?
Not yet. I've been thinking of making one.
Because so many people use that. A lot of folks, even Pinterest too. That's another one.
I haven't really pursued the idea of selling the sock monkeys because since they're all handmade, the price has to be pretty high.
Yeah.
I've done the math. If I charge like $60 each for them, and the one in Spokane I charged her $80, and she was happily paid it, no problem. But if I charge something that most of the market will want to pay, like $50 or something, I've done the math. I end up making about $4 an hour.
Yeah,
right. So I'm not in a great
and plus
hurry
you're paying
to do
for
more
shipping,
of it.
right?
Yeah.
To get it out. Yeah.
Well, actually, the customer paid for shipping in this case.
Oh,
but,
gotcha.
yeah. But I still had to buy special sized shipping boxes, so they'd be the right size and shape for a sock monkey.
Yeah.
So there's a certain amount of investment involved in the shipping part of it.
Well, and plus you're getting all those materials. I mean, where do you get all of your, all that clothing and?
That's a little more difficult now that the best fabric store in Monterey closed up a few years ago. They had been in business for decades. It was called Beverly's.
Oh.
And they not only had crafts, but huge fabric department and some ladies that were very, very knowledgeable about fabric because they'd been working in various aspects of the business for years. And one of them actually had come here from Italy. I guess she'd married an American serviceman years ago and then came over here. And in Italy, she had been in the seamstress business, working for various fashion designers and so forth. And so she had probably forgotten more about sewing than most people ever learned.
But she must have been very excited to come, like, oh my gosh, I get to design things for a little creature, right? That must have been fun. Like, I get to tailor fit this around a little tiny monkey.
She and I have a great friendship even to this day. And after the store closed, she moved back east to be closer to her kids. But we still keep in touch via phone occasionally.
Did you two get a kick out of like brainstorming on what kind of materials to use
or
how to design things?
I do most of the design myself, and I've designed all my own patterns and so forth. I did have the occasional question for her, like, how do I do this? Because I wanted to. Originally, I had been sewing the sleeves in such a way that the shirt just had an oval hole in it for the sleeve, and then I'd set the sleeve in, turn the thing inside out, and sew around. Well, you're sewing around a circle. It's like 1.5 inches in diameter, which is really tough with a large size, a normal size sewing machine.
Yeah.
So after doing this for a few years, I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way. So I went in one time and I asked Donatella, I showed her one of the shirts that I had made. I said, there must be a better way to do this. And she said, oh yeah, what you do is you split the shirt up the side. When you do the pattern, you make it that way so there's a split there, and then you set the sleeve in and then sew up. Let's see, how do you do this? Basically, you sew up one side and down the other. I remember it. So you're sewing the seam on the inside of the sleeve.
Interesting.
That goes up underneath the arm, right? And so it's basically 2 steps. First, you sew around the opening, which is now split. It's not a circle anymore. It's split like this, so it's much easier
I'm
to
trying
get
to
through the sewing
visualize
machine.
this.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
So it's like two sides of what, like a sandwich, huh?
Kind of. Well, imagine the sleeve being one piece. Look at the sleeve here. Okay, and you've got a seam going over the shoulder, and it goes around under the arm like this. And then you've got a little seam right here.
Geez.
And then on this particular shirt, there it is.
Oh, yeah, we see it on the side. Oh, yeah.
So basically it's the same thing, just in a smaller scale. So there's two seams you have to sew. One, you start before the thing is shirt-shaped. It's laid out flat.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this seam is open and this seam is open. I'm sorry.
I know, right?
I have to apologize to all your listeners because I'm always trying to describe visual things, and of course they can't see them. Anyhow, so imagine this seam is open and this seam is open. Inside the arm and then down the side of the shirt. So first of all, you sew the seam around here, which you can do in a straight line because it opens up. Okay. So that's easy to sew. It's still a little bit of a curve to it, but you can open it up into more or less a straight line, run it through the sewing machine. And, of course, it's a lot easier in human size than it is in miniature. And then after you've got that done, then you basically sew. You can start at either end, either at the cuff or at the bottom of the shirt. I usually start at the cuff. And you sew the seam here, and then that naturally runs into the same seam here and then down there. So it's a two-step process. So I asked Donatella, how do I do this? And she said, we'll just do it like this. And I was like, why didn't I think of that?
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, she's been a great help over the years.
Isn't it interesting to think that these people, they had to go through what you went through to go, okay, I'm going to have to think of a completely strange way of doing this. Like, what's going to work the best, but it's got to be a straight. It's like, it has to be a weird way. She was taught professionally, so
I got she'd been doing it for many decades in Italy. But of course, she was also great help in selecting fabrics. I'd say, I don't want to make this kind of garment. What should I use? And she'd go, well, you could use this or this or this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to pause this edition of Inspirado Projecto because of an emergency broadcast system. Inspirado Projecto.
So, we had a great friendship.
How cool. What's the strangest sock monkey you've been requested to do?
Oh, goodness. Probably the stripper.
I was just going to say.
That's the strangest one so far. You've seen my pictures of the alien sock monkey, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the astronaut. I just made those on a whim.
Those guys are great.
And then I made another astronaut with a silvery spacesuit for Cowboy's little boy when he was born. For your listeners who don't know, Cowboy is the stage manager.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just go through the gallery real quick here. Let's see.
How many would you say that you've created? I mean, more than 100, I would say.
I've been doing this for like 20 some odd years now, so it's well over. I lost count a long time ago. For a while, I was trying to keep track of them when I first started, then I lost count.
Did you take?
It would be well over 100 by now.
So I assume you've taken pictures of all of them, right?
Almost all of them, yeah. I think I'm missing the dentist, because that was before I started photographing them, and maybe one or two others. And of course, I've made a few duplicates, like the ballerinas. I didn't bother to photograph each one.
You could actually have a photo. I'm imagining this: a photo essay, book of just colored photos of these sock monkeys. And maybe like a little.
Oh, I could write a book these days. One of these days, who knows?
It would be really. Monkeys. I could totally imagine.
Well, let's see. So here we've got.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I showed you this one. So a while back, a lady ran into me in a parking lot, into my car rather, and put a little dent in the rear bumper. No big deal, but I wanted to have it fixed. So I took it to this auto body repair place here in Monterey. And forget how the subject came up, but somehow we always seem to end up talking about sock monkeys.
Oh, that's great. Who, you and the employee?
Yeah, me and he was one of the, what do they call them, adjusters, underwriters, something like that. I don't know what his official title is, but he's the one who does all the paperwork and evaluates the car and see what repairs it needs, and then he writes it all up and gives it to the actual workmen who are going to do the work. There's a job title for him, but I forget what it is. Anyways, so he and especially the two girls working the front counter were enchanted at the idea of the sock monkeys. So, and I'd showed them some of my gallery. So while I had dropped my car off and I was waiting for a few days for it to get fixed, I thought, I think I'll make them a sock monkey.
That is cool.
So I went online to their website and I
that is too cool,
I copied
man.
their logo.
That car star Robert's Collision. That is great.
And I put it on the monkey's T-shirt, gave him blue jeans, and just, quick, simple thing.
That is great.
And so when I went in to pick up the car, I took the sock monkey with me in a little bag, and I said, "Here, this is for the shop." And they put him up behind the counter.
Oh, I love that.
So as far as I know, he's still there on display.
That is so cool.
This is one of the more unusual ones I've done. He's in lederhosen.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that.
I got to use my embroidery machine finally to put the little flowers on.
Oh, that is so cool. You got
this
an
is real
embroidery
leather.
machine.
This is, yeah. Oh, I picked it up at a discount a long time ago, but I rarely use it. This is real leather. This is like a suede, like a pig suede.
Oh.
And because, real lederhosen are leather. And so that was fun to make.
Gosh.
Design that. And then, of course, this I made for Oktoberfest was it year before last, I think it was. I don't celebrate Oktoberfest, but
you gave him is that a little
that's
tiny?
a little
Oh my
tiny
god!
mug of beer
What the
that I
heck?
made for him.
How did you make it? Because it looks all fuzzy, like
It's
fizzy
foamy,
in there
it's
too.
fizzy.
Yeah.
Well,
what the heck?
The plastic mug is a shot glass that I got online at one of these novelty places. You
That
get
is
a
great.
dozen of them in a box. So I have 11 more I can make.
That's
and then
awesome.
I got some casting resin, which is clear, and I got some colorants to put in it. And I had to figure out how much yellow to add, so it was just the right color for beer.
Brilliant.
And the thing is, now when you're mixing up the resin, normally, because you're going to encase something in it, right? Like you're going to put a little miniature boat model and make a paperweight or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And normally you want the resin to be as clear as possible. So you want to avoid bubbles when you're mixing. But in this case, the bubbles were an extra added plus.
Oh, that's great.
So usually you have to mix the resin, either put it in a vacuum chamber or something so that it sucks all the bubbles out. But in my case, I just left them because it made perfect beer. And so, it's all these little fizzy bubbles in there. And then, so I poured the bottom part, the yellow part there, let that cure, and then I mixed up a batch of white resin, or put some white colorant in it, and put more foam in that, and then poured it on the top for the head of the beer.
Incredible, man.
So it was a
Look
lot
at
of fun.
that. Those happy accidents.
Yeah.
As David Lynch likes to call them, the happy accidents, right? Something that might look unfavorable. You never know when that thing might become the dominant thing that you're using for the next project.
Exactly. Yeah. One man's problem is another man's advantage.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it.
So yeah, if your viewers want to see how I made this and the Oktoberfest Sock Monkey, they can go to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/the Sock Monkey Guy, and they'll find the Oktoberfest and they can see actually how I made the beer. So,
Man. Oh man.
and then there's my pirate.
Oh yeah, your little pirate guy.
Yeah, you've seen him. Oops.
Those sleeves are really cool.
Yeah, that was fun. Basically, I just took the existing sleeve pattern, made the cuff end of it really wide, and then when I sewed it together, you had this big bell-shaped sleeve, and then I ran a needle and thread around the inside at the bottom and gathered it around his wrist. So you get this nice puffy pirate sleeve.
Incredible.
So yeah, fairly easy to do.
Incredible.
And this is how I made his hat. He's got a tricorn hat made out of real leather, as they did.
Whoa.
And basically what you do is you cut a circle of leather and then form the crown in the middle of it. And in order to do that, I don't have any pictures of the process. But here again, if they go to see the pirate video on YouTube, they can see the process of how it was made. What I did was I 3D printed a mold that would form the crown of the hat.
Oh.
And there's...
Oh yeah, you use your
partly
3D
through the
printer a
process.
lot for this stuff.
Yeah. And so then I soaked the leather overnight in water, which softens it and makes it pliable and stretchable. And then I had this circle of fabric. I clamped it in between the two halves of the mold, which forced it into the crown shape for the top of the head.
Incredible.
And left the circular brim around the outside. And then once it's dry, what you do is you fold up the brim in 3 places and punch the leather with an awl and sew them to the top of the hat, and that's where you get the classic tricorn
Wow,
shape.
man. That's incredible.
A lot of work goes into these things.
Yeah.
So you can see I would have to charge a lot if I tried to sell them.
You would. This is not just something where you got a few machines that are in there that are like,
Cranking them out.
putting
Yeah,
the thing in.
exactly. Okay, what else have I got in here? This is one I made for a fellow YouTuber. Let's get a good picture.
Yeah, because a lot of these, you're putting in a lot of research and stuff. You're having to look through.
So there's a
Mr. Patina.
Mr. Patina is his channel name, and he's located in Germany, and he restores antique items, hence the name, Mr.
Oh, that's
Patina.
great.
And he restores old hand tools and, old lanterns and old appliances, things like this, and does beautiful work. So, this is a couple years ago now, three years ago, something like that. he had a little baby boy, and he announced it on his channel, and so people were leaving all kinds of congratulatory messages, and I said, hey, I'd love to make a sock monkey for him. And he got the comment, and he apparently went and looked up my channel and saw what I do and how I make them, and he wrote me a nice reply. He said, that'd be fantastic. So we kind of put our heads together, and this is his logo from his YouTube channel, which I put on the Monkeys t-shirt.
Incredible.
And then I made a little wrench. It's soft fabric, stuffed, so it won't hurt the baby.
Brilliant.
Right? And sewed it to the monkey's hand like that. And I made felt eyes instead of buttons for eyes, because usually I do buttons. It's faster, but for children, you don't want buttons that you can pull off and swallow. So
it's true.
I use felt and bond the felt to the fabric so it won't come off.
That is incredible.
And you can also give him a little more expression that way, because you can actually make whites of his eyes and so
Oh,
forth.
yeah.
But it takes a lot longer to do, so normally I just go with the buttons. So yeah, that's the story behind that.
Wow.
So
Does he show that little guy on his YouTube channel or anything?
he did actually do a post of it when he got it, and took a picture of the baby sleeping with it.
Oh,
He has
cool.
his arms around it like this.
Oh, that's great.
And posted that on one of his community posts, so that was nice. And yeah, here's all the different wrenches I had to make in order to get a good one, because trying to sew something at that scale, some of them
What
came out
the
kind of lumpy
heck?
and crooked. So it's 1, 2,
Man.
3, 4 rejects, and I finally got a good one.
Good job. I
But,
mean, figuring that out, because you actually are making the shapes of the nut in there, too.
Exactly, yeah. And then you have to try to make the shapes in such a way that it looks good after it's stuffed. Because it's one thing to have it look good flat, right? And then when you stuff it, it kind of distorts it. So you have to compensate for that in the opposite way when you design the thing, so that when it's stuffed, it will look right.
That's
incredible. That's why it was so difficult to do. But
The kind of forethought that's involved with these things is
sometimes
amazing.
trial and error. Okay, here's the one I made for Cowboys.
Oh, that is
baby when he was
great.
born.
Oh, that is great.
And here again, he's got felt eyes, and
Look
the
at
helmet
that.
is soft.
That's incredible. That is so cool.
And it's all
What
kind
a
of
cool
silvery.
little suit, man. This is great. Look, he's even got a spot for his tail. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Like a tail sleeve.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, let's see. Oh, well, there's yours.
There it is. Oh, my God. I love that little guy. I love that little guy.
Here's your fun fact. Cats don't meow at other cats. They reserve this sound for getting attention, not to mention food, from humans. Stay tuned to Inspirado Projecto for more fun facts.
He's sitting on my couch, so as soon as people walk in, he's right there to greet them.
That's great. I don't know if the rest of the band wants any or not.
I would love it. I got to talk to these guys, because that would be phenomenal for you to make one of each of the members. Oh, my God, that would be so fun. I got to talk to them.
There's a story behind this one. Okay, normally I order socks in size large because it makes just the right size sock monkey. And so I ordered a batch of socks, and they all come packaged. And so one day I was going to make a sock monkey, pulled a pair off the shelf, took it out of its package, sewed the monkey up, made clothes for it, and the clothes didn't fit. I was like, what the hell? Did something alter my pattern files on my computer? So I started measuring everything, because the clothes were too small and they wouldn't fit. And so I started measuring everything, and finally I took another sock monkey, put it alongside this one, and I realized the company had accidentally sent me a pair of extra large socks in a package marked large.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was like, well, darn, none of the patterns that I ever going to fit him. So I stuck them on the shelf, just grabbed another one, made the monkey, and delivered it, whatever it was I was making. And so he sat on the shelf for several weeks, and I'm looking at this monkey. What do you do with an oversized sock monkey? And one day I thought, I'll make him a basketball player.
That's great.
So
That's
I
great.
got this little free clip art logo of the snarling monkey.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
I used that for his shirt. And I figured he's the Minnesota Monkeys or something.
That is too
My dad was
cool.
born in Minnesota, so.
Oh, I love it.
And I found this beautifully done basketball 3D model online. Somebody had uploaded it for free to one of the repositories. And so I downloaded that and printed it and painted it. And so he's got this great basketball.
Incredible.
And do I have any pictures of his back? Yes, I do.
Oh, too cool.
He's got a name and a number.
Calzino, 33. That's
It
great.
turns out, I looked this up, calzino is the Italian word for sock.
Incredible.
So
Oh,
it
that
seems
is
like
good.
a good name.
That is too cool.
So,
Well, I like this guy. Was he? Is that?
Which one's
it? Looked like Grover up there. Is that him dressed as Grover?
No,
or-
it's just a purple sock monkey somebody
That
wanted.
is just so cool. That's a cool material too.
It's just
Oh my gosh, that is great.
Just another kind of sock from somewhere. And you can see when you stretch the material to stuff it, it becomes kind of transparent. You can see the stuffing
Oh,
through.
yeah.
In the regular sock monkey fabric, you don't notice it because it's the speckled brown and white. But
Oh,
when
yeah.
a solid color monkey like that, it has a sort of glow from the
Yeah, it
from the
does look
stuffing
like it's
inside.
glowing.
So it's a side effect, but you have to live with it.
No, but it's really cool though because it looks like you meant to do that. Like it's vibrant.
Like it's magical sock monkey. or
Yeah,
something. There's a better picture.
that is so funny.
Yeah, there was a friend.
Almost like Grimace. Like it's a monkey trying to dress like Grimace for Halloween.
No, it was a friend of our family, and they had a couple little daughters, and so I made a sock monkey for one of them. Do I have that here? I don't remember. Anyhow, it was just a generic sock monkey. It didn't have a costume on it. And then when the other daughter was born, Tom asked me, "Hey, could you make another sock monkey with the other daughter?" I said, "Sure. What kind of sock monkey you want?" He says, "How about a purple one?" So I said, "Sure." I found these purple socks online somewhere, ordered those.
That is too cool. Is that the Fonz over there?
No, this is a welder. I actually do have a.
Oh, he does
I
have
do
a-
have a biker sock monkey.
Oh,
There
that is
he is.
great. He's got
His chain.
That's
and,
great.
metal studs on his jacket.
Fiery
He's got
dice.
Flaming dice.
That's great,
on his
man.
T-shirt.
Too
I wanted a
cool.
flaming skull, but I couldn't find any that really looked good. So I settled for flaming dice.
That's too
and
cool.
this is like a leatherette material. The lady ordered that for her husband who has a motorcycle he loves to ride.
Oh my gosh.
But no, this one you were looking at, he's a welder. And
Oh, that's great.
so I made the welding hood on the 3D printer.
No way.
This was for my dentist hygienist. Her boyfriend is a welder.
That is too cool.
And it was like birthday or Christmas or something a few years ago. So I made that on a 3D printer, and I got a little plexiglass tray. You know, sometimes you have to buy a big thing and cut out what you want out of it. So I can make the little window in the helmet. And then I got some window tinting film. Went down to one of the local places here in Seaside that does window tinting. And I said, "Hey, you have any scraps left over in your trash bin I could root through?" And he said, "Guy says, sure." He brings out this huge trash can full of window tinting scraps. And I pulled because a lot of them were crumpled up and things when they threw them in there, but I got some good pieces.
Oh, good.
And then I put that on the welding hood window
That
to
is
darken
too
it.
cool,
and then I
man.
put it on a pivot so that it pivots
No
up from his
way.
face just like a real
No
welding mask
way.
does.
That is incredible. And it fits up on his skull so well. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So that was a lot of fun to make. So yeah, it's
Your attention to detail is amazing.
it's all about the details.
Man, I remember you telling me about that one you did for the Boy Scout or the Cub Scout.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
The
And you
Eagle
found
Scout.
out the little tiny patches
the
and
lady
everything.
sent me pictures of all the patches he'd earned, so
It
I
was the
duplicated those.
coolest thing.
Yeah, that was the Eagle Scout. I don't know if I have him in here. He's on.
Wow.
Let's see. I don't think I put him on my Instagram page yet. I need to do that, but I have him elsewhere. I got a picture of that.
I mean,
so, yeah,
I was just
every new
thinking-
sock monkey I do, I photograph.
I was just thinking, even if, like you're saying, let's say if you do put this up on Etsy or Pinterest or one of these places to get the socks out there, even if people did want to buy them for this, I mean, what happens if there's a day where you get like 10 or 12 orders, in one day and you're going, okay, I'm one man,
Yeah,
this
that's
might be
gonna
a
set me
3-month
for-
project
yeah,
or something.
the rest of the year or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that's one reason I haven't really pursued it either.
So it'd be a tricky situation to be in. In the one sense, you'd be like, wow, I feel so blessed to be able
Yeah.
to do this. On the other hand, you're like, how do I do this? Am I going to get
I've
some
heard
sleep?
stories about new businesses that face that. They open their store or go online or whatever it was with their online business, depending on what kind it is, and they wait and hoping that a sale will come in, and finally one does, and then another sale, and they go, "Oh, this is fantastic," and then they start getting buried with sales, and they turn to panic because they can't fulfill them all.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't want to be in that position. Recognize these guys?
Oh yeah, the Beatles.
Yep.
Is this Sgt. Pepper's Lonely
That's
Hearts Club
right.
Band?
That's exactly
Oh, these
what it is.
guys. Look at these little dudes. These are great.
That was
These
a lot of work.
Look at that. And then near the bottoms of the...
Yeah, I got all kinds of silver and gold
Wow,
trims
man.
to sew on them. So for the benefit of your
incredible.
listeners, we have one in a salmon color. It's all satiny kind of material. Salmon colored suit, a green colored suit, a blue one, and a sort of tangerine orange. And
They look so good.
I didn't have the glasses made for Lennon at this time. At the time I took the picture, but I did make a pair of glasses later.
Whoa.
So there it is.
Those
Oops.
are great.
It's made out of a coat hanger.
Okay, what did you use to bend it so, I mean, because it looks like it's really very well, I don't see any like hard angles. How did you?
A couple of pairs of needle nose pliers and a lot of patience.
Jeez, man.
And a lot of trying it on the monkey.
Well, yeah, because it's like a one-line drawing. It looks like.
Yeah, it's all one piece. So it goes over one ear, then into one. There aren't any lenses in it, but if there were lenses, goes around that, over the bridge of the nose, around the other lens, and goes back over the other ear. So it's all one piece.
Incredible.
So that was my first pair of sock monkey glasses.
Wow. Wow.
I always wondered what they'd look like. That's on the sock monkey front. And now to the theater front, we've got other stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
I like the updates that you were sending me. Those were great with the lights,
good.
and those are all in working order at this point, huh?
Here, I'll show you pictures of that, too. It's in a different... No, that's not it. Here we are. Well, my glasses, it's hard to see where the category is. There it is. So, this is the one one of the pictures you've seen already.
Man, incredible.
So all that's working. I'm working on the marquee right now.
Look at that, man. This is so cool. Jeez. So these are the little LED lights? Is that what you're
Those are
using?
tiny, tiny LEDs, like 2 or 3 millimeters in size. And there's a whole row of them. It's like, you get these strip lights of LEDs. Well, that's what the bottom one is here.
That is too
behind
cool.
all the Spanish tiles there. And then the ones up here are just individual LEDs that you can get all different sizes, huge and small ones and everything. And so I 3D printed a little sort of bracket that goes in through a hole in the wall from the back, all right? And it's like a T shape, all right? You've got a vertical piece, and then it's like a T on its side, and a little horizontal piece sticking out through it. And that's what actually goes through the hole in the wall into the little curved lantern, and you've got an LED on the top face and on the bottom face. So you get these lights shining up and down from the little lantern there.
It looks so cool.
And then similar thing behind the urns. I got a little bracket there with one LED mounted on it. This big urn here in a big alcove, it has like 5 LEDs in a semicircle to give it even lighting. Where are we? There we are. Yeah, you can see there's the bottom of the urn, there's the top. So they're hidden out of view down here.
Wow. You've done such a good job, too, with the little sculptures near the top and everything.
My friend Gary Parks did most of that. I did a couple of them. I did this one. Oops. Yeah. Come on, phone. There we are. I did that one, this one, and I did the eagles on the corners.
Oh, cool.
And Gary did most of the rest. Oh, I did the spiral columns.
Wow.
And, of course, we only had to make one of each, and then I made silicone molds of them, and then poured as many as we needed in plastic resin. So, I also did little urns on the top here.
So who were you were saying it was brothers that designed?
Reed Brothers, James
Reed
and
brothers.
Merritt Reed.
So it'd be are any of those guys still around?
No, I don't think either one of them had any children. I don't remember when they were born. James died in 1943, and Merritt had died previously in 1932.
Oh.
They started their career in Evansville, Indiana in 1878.
Wow.
At least one of them attended MIT, and the historians think the other one did too. And they came to Evansville individually. First one was James. He was the older of the two. And he came to Evansville, I don't remember the exact year, but it would have been like a couple years before 1878, so like 1876 or something. He bought into an existing architectural firm I guess one of the partners in the existing firm was getting ready to retire. So he sold his share to James Reed. The firm was called Boyd and Brickley, okay? And Mr. Boyd sold his share to James Reed, so the firm became Brickley and Reed. And then Merritt came to town, I guess a couple years later, and Brickley sold his share to Merritt. That was 1878, so it became Reed Brothers. Okay, so now it's the two brothers in partnership as architects. And they designed in Evansville lots of houses, some churches, various churches are still there. And the very, very first building they ever designed was a library. It was called the Willard Library because a man named Willard was the guy who provided the funding for it. And that building is still there to this day. It is now a museum devoted to the life and work of Reed Brothers.
Incredible.
And when I'm too old to take care of this model, that's where I want it to go.
That would be great. That's like the Smithsonian of the Reed Brothers
Exactly,
stuff.
yes, exactly what it is. And they were very helpful. I contacted them years ago when I was doing research on this place, and they actually photocopied a chapter out of the book they had written on the Reed Brothers that was about their early history and sent me the copy.
Oh, cool.
So that was nice. I still have it somewhere.
Did you had to have shown a picture of what you've been working on,
Not
right?
so far, no.
No?
I haven't been in touch with them since,
They
actually.
might flip out.
This is like probably almost 30 years ago.
If you were to contact them and show them what the heck you've been up to, they would
when it's
feel
all done,
very
I
honored.
will, yeah. So right now I'm working on the marquee. As you can see in this picture, it's not lit yet, but it will be. And I had to buy a second 3D printer. I had to buy a resin printer to make stuff in the small scale. It was going to require like all these little color caps.
Oh my gosh.
Right, these are going to be white or clear color, and these are amber. So I've got all those in place. And this is solid opaque resin, these little finials on the top and bottom of the marquee, and those originally lit up, so I had to remake those in white resin, translucent white. So those are made. Everything's still taken apart. It's all waiting to be installed.
So these are actually going to be, so there's going to be a light inside of this so it can glow.
These will glow. So you're going to have these two glowing finials on the top at each corner, two glowing finials on the bottom at each corner. These stained glass windows here, those will glow.
Whoa.
The reader board where all the letters are, that will light up.
I love that 6-Acts vaudeville, Laurel and Hardy.
I wanted to put something period there. And the lights around the reader board will chase as they did originally.
Oh, cool.
I've got that circuit done. It's working, and it's installed.
Oh, my gosh.
So right now the LEDs that I have to use for these, I don't know if you have to restart that if you're running out of battery.
Let's see. Let me just take a look at this. Let's see. Yeah, I could pause it here. Yeah,
just restart it.
Thank you so much, Martin Schmidt, for once again providing your wisdom, your intuition, your explorations, your stories and adventures with us live from the Golden State Theater. Man, he is just very, very talented. We have 2 more parts coming up. Also, thank you so much, Maria Humphreys from Strong Bodies, Strong Soul, who I love collaborating with. She has been doing Twitter X Spaces. I've been on a couple of her instantaneous programs. It's been thrilling. So I think that might be a place that I'll start doing the podcast on, recording the audio there and uploading it here. So we'll see. However, this will give you the opportunity to jump in there and see what's going on. Also, thank you, Henry D. Horse, for your fun fact. Also, thank you, Mickey Dolans from the Monkees, for opening up the show. And thank you, everybody, for listening to Inspirado Projecto, found on iTunes, Spotify, all kinds of places out there in the interwebs. Take care. Keep the Inspirado flowing. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto, and keep your eyes and ears open for all of the latest Yachtley Crew shows. Take care.
You are listening to Inspirado Projecto.